Hello and welcome to episode 24 of the Imperfect Professionals Podcast. The T20 World Cup is underway and, well, what a game we had last night between India and Pakistan. Disappointing for Australia, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Firstly, welcome Sportsnut to episode 24 of the podcast. It is cricket season. We have changed back the logo to the original, the cricketing logo. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, huge dream. Thanks, Cam. What a start to the World Cup. Obviously, last night, probably one of the best games I've ever seen live. And then the Aussies getting pumped. So, yeah, we'll review every game with also a best of the week, a best six, and a best wicket. So,
yes, we've moved on. So we're doing best six and best wicket. We are into cricket season. So that was the footy part of the podcast for the year. Went pretty well. But now we're right into cricket. Obviously, the T20 World Cup underway. Then we'll be covering, the test matches, the Big Bash, all of that good stuff. But yeah, huge episode. We welcome in the viewers. We'll let them join. But yeah, huge episode. And we'll be going through the Super 12 games. We'll be reviewing them, previewing upcoming fixtures. There's a game happening right now. But it is rain. It's a rain delay at the moment.
Rain delay.
So I don't know if we're going to get much play in that game between South Africa and Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
But huge World Cup. And we thought, let's shock the viewers. Let's shock the people. Let's bring in, for I think it's his third reunion now, RJM Sports.
I'm back, people.
He is back for this episode, and you're the cricketing man, so we thought you'd bring we thought you we would bring you back to talk a bit of T20 cricket.
Yep, nothing better.
Sportsnut, if you'd like to introduce another special guest we have.
Yeah, well, if you thought IJM was a cricket nuffy, you wait and see this bloke here. He has only got the 13 subs on YouTube, but massive cricket nuffy from what I know him from. It is his first time on the channel, Cover Drives and Cuts / VK's cricket.
Good mate of Sportsnuts, here he is.
Yep, g'day.
A lot of people in here for
making his most impact Cardi episode.
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah.
So a debut for VKN's cricket.
Yeah.
RJM Sports, he's been here, he's done that, he's here again.
Yep.
All right, let's get in to the T20 World Cup. So the first game, obviously we have group stage matches, then the Super 12. So the first game, Namibia and Sri Lanka, we'll touch on this because what an upset. Namibia, they didn't just win, they won by 55 runs and then they didn't even qualify.
Yeah,
well,
it's crazy.
Shocking.
It's crazy to think that Namibia didn't even make it after that, but yeah.
What an upset that was.
I know.
So Namibia, they made 163 for also 7 wickets. Sri Lanka getting bowled out for 108. And then another upset the following day, Scotland beating West Indies, and then Ireland beat the West Indies a little bit later.
Yeah, crazy.
Two
West
crazy
Indies
upsets.
didn't make it.
West Indies didn't make it, so it was out of Ireland and West Indies. And Ireland won by 9 wickets. So who were the 4 teams that qualified?
The
4 teams were Sri Lanka, Netherlands, Ireland, and Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
Crazy
the Netherlands are the
West
real
Indies.
Netherlands are the real unsung heroes here.
Yeah.
Beat the UAE in the first day, sort of went really unnoticed because of all these other upsets happening. Then went and beat Namibia that went and beat Sri Lanka, and all these countries don't play Test cricket usually, so it's sort of Netherlands has gone right under the radar and made it to the Super 12s.
Unbelievable from the Netherlands. Crazy to think the West Indies aren't in there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Only 2 World Cups after they won.
Yep.
That is correct. So they did lose today, the Netherlands, but tough game against Bangladesh.
Yeah. I think the West Indies were a bit poor tactically.
Yeah, look, did you see their squad? Like who was still playing that played in that winning World Cup in 2016 or
I
whatever
don't
it
think
was?
there's any more.
Johnson Charles.
Is that it? I think so.
Evan Lewis was playing as well, I'm pretty sure.
Jason Holder.
Yeah, Holder.
Yeah.
But not many.
But
Like that is no Bravo, no Russell.
Gale.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the superstars that they sent over here for the Big Bash all don't play anymore.
Let's get into the Super 12. So it looked off on Saturday night. And, well, it was the Kiwis in Australia. And, well, Australia lost by 89 runs. To put it
Just
simply,
89 runs.
for the game, sports nut. Take it away.
Yeah, so we'll go through every person here, but me first. Well, I don't know where to start, to be honest, but pretty disappointing. Obviously, yeah, geez, I don't know. We don't want to talk about it like in the title, but I think
We're going
Finn Allen played a really good innings early, and then Devon Conway sort of anchored. But I feel like our bowling to Allen was decently poor. Like that first over Stark, Allen was just smashing him because it's just half volleys, but yeah, geez. And then Devon Conway just anchors with a solid 92, was it? Not out. And then, I don't know, our batting was just poor. Like, Warner got unlucky, but then apart from that, like, there's been a bit of discussion. Should Smith have played? I don't know, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see our XI tomorrow night.
RJM, take it away.
Yeah, on that Smith argument, on the Smith debate, it was talked about before the World Cup that our conditions were too unknown. But obviously, like New Zealand, they're not that far away. Obviously, have very similar conditions, so it will be interesting seeing coming up against a team like Sri Lanka, where they've got such different conditions as we saw when we played them earlier in the year. Whether that's why Smith isn't included, because we've got David. David can hit a big bomb. We've all seen that. Unfortunately, he disappointed with 11 off 8. But it's when New Zealand's top order fired so much and ours didn't, that was probably where the difference was majorly.
Yeah. VKNs, your take on Australia and New Zealand?
I just thought they were a bit like shell-shocked after the first over. Like Stark, so good in World Cups, goes for like 18 runs or something. Yeah. Just I thought, well, when you think about it, the England series and the India series, we both lost those series. I think the warm-ups before the World Cup have affected us. I do think, yeah.
Not great form from Australia going into this World Cup. Really. Yeah, New Zealand, I mean, that opening over. I mean, he's been known to do that in the past, Mitchell Stark. He's gone for a couple of runs in the opening over. They didn't bounce back from it. They were 56 after 4 overs, 0 for 56. Australia did good to claw it back from 14 and over to 10, but they weren't able to claw it back anymore. And New Zealand finished with 200 runs. Allen, fantastic at the top. Dev Conway, he was the man of the match with 92 not out. Interesting, they haven't gone with Guptill. Bit of a change. Allen, do you like it? Do you like it, people?
Well, I don't mind.
Allen did well, so I think the proof is in the pudding there.
Yeah.
Williamson, runner ball 23. Neesham did good toward the end there. The bowling was ordinary. Stark went for 36 in the end. Hazelwood wasn't his night. Got a couple of wickets though. Zampa got 1 for 39. Interesting, Storms bowled 4 overs, so only the 5 bowlers used. No Maxwell, no Marsh. As they said, Marsh was going to be ready to bowl for this game. Maybe he was. Maybe they just thought Storness was the better bowler on that wicket.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It's
also weird.
Go.
It's also weird because SCG historically is such like a spinning wicket, and we only use one spinner in that list of 5 bowlers. Although they also seem to be slogging spinners. So
Australia's batting.
Yeah.
111 they got out for.
Yeah, it's really poor.
Warner was unlucky. I mean, that dismissal, you don't want to see that again. Finch, I mean, it was a good 6 over Bolt.
Yeah. Do you think Australia will still make it, like the semis?
I mean, I think you can only afford one loss. I would
they're
say,
gonna have to
and
beat
to be
England
safe, don't lose, because last year Australia only lost one game and they could have not made it through. It was only on run rate, I believe.
And now they're not
at the end there.
Now
so they got to win every game. They've got to beat England.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
England's going to be a real tough match.
None of the batters did very good. Who top scored? Maxwell, 28.
Yeah.
Although we all know what happened last time England were out here. If they do that again, we'll hopefully win easy.
Hopefully. Easier said than done. Different format.
Exactly.
So the second game, yes. After that game, there was another game. It was very late for the rest of Australia because it was in Perth, Afghanistan, and England. Afghanistan got bowled out for 112. I think they would have expected a little better than getting out for 112. What shocks me is England, chased that down with only 11 balls to go. 5 wickets in the shed. I thought they'd get that one done a little bit quicker, but they got it done.
Yeah. I know.
Although if you're going to get it done, it's no use trying to belt them out of the park. It might hurt them late with the net run rates, but for now it's not worth them trying to smack them and someone getting injured or throwing away their wicket.
If you don't lose, then there's no point in having a good Yeah,
exactly.
I know 3 of us are in Vic here, and Cam's only 30 minutes behind. I don't like the 10 o'clock games. I know you've got to have some in Perth, but make them the afternoon ones.
Although I reckon it's better than what's happening Friday. Friday there's a 4 o'clock game and then a 7 o'clock game, which I think is really interesting because if you're trying to get fans there, and you're trying to bring more fans in, a lot of those fans are going to be kids. They're all still going to be at school until 3:30. Most of them will be. They've only got half an hour to get from school to the G.
Yeah.
Although it does curtain raise really nicely for England and Australia.
Yeah.
Which would be a huge match.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we had 2 games. Obviously, the big one was Pakistan, India. But before that, Ireland and Sri Lanka. Ireland made about 130. Sri Lanka chased it down 9 wickets with 5 overs to spare. Good innings, good match by Sri Lanka. They did well.
Yeah.
Ireland, they're okay. They're okay. But Sri Lanka did what they had to do and win that game. Before we get into Pakistan and India, we are going to head to the first and only segment of tonight, Best of the Week, with the old cricketing stinger.
Alright, best of the week. 6 and a wicket. Start off with the 6. Virat Kohli last night. What a game. We'll review it in a minute. But his 6, close to the end of the game, off Harris Ralph. What a shot. What a star. His innings last night was really good. Then a wicket. Pretty hard to just choose one. But I'm actually going to go a bit different here. I'm going to go to the qualifiers. I'm going to go that bloke from UAE who took a hat-trick. That's best of the week.
Thank you, Sportsnut. Best of the week. Yeah, that hat-trick, I mean, because it was a group stage match, it's sort of gone, it's not gone irrelevant, but imagine if that was a Super 12 match.
But it was against Sri Lanka, which makes it a bit, bigger than just someone like Namibia or something.
Yeah.
Or West Indies.
Yeah.
That was huge for hat trick. Thanks
Yeah.
for best of the week. Do we have any other shouts for sixes and wickets, people?
No. He's done well.
Maybe Finn Allen's 6 off Stark.
Yeah.
I mean,
was
that
good.
sort of like set the tone.
Yep. We got a viewer, Dan the Man. Welcome, g'day. Got any questions, queries? Pop them in chat. Big episode. We've got 2 special guests, BKNs/cover drives and cuts, and we got the one and only IJM Sports with. Well, before we get to India Pakistan, you got a bit of a plug. The Bats
Yeah,
and
we
Stats
do.
podcast.
We do the I have a podcast. Bats and Snaps. It can be found on Spotify.
Yeah, I've watched half of it. It's good at.
Bryce Street, Queensland opening batsman, talks about batting and batting actually in the Netherlands with how those conditions are and how all conditions sort of vary up. So
Yeah.
once you watch here, you can go and listen to there.
How do
Bryce
you even,
Street.
How do you get him? Did you just
First
DM him?
Yeah. Yeah. Just got onto him and he was happy to do it. So
Well, that was good. Bryce Street is probably the future opening batsman for Australia with Henry
Oh,
Hunt.
yeah.
Well, that's what we imagine.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's, especially after that Australia A century last.
Are we
last
trying to get
year.
Henry Hunt on? Or no?
Maybe
Is that a hard to get?
The thing that did work towards my favour was that unfortunately Bryce isn't being picked currently in the Sheffield Shield teams.
Well, he should be.
Yeah, he
he
should
should
be.
be.
Yeah, true.
But he's
yeah.
got a bit more free time on his hands, which is
Mm.
nice to get people when they've got that sort of time.
All right, let's get to the biggest game of this World Cup. India, Pakistan, 90,000 fans, and that was one of the best games of all time. Full stop.
Yep.
We're going to go around the table, Sportsnut, IJM, cover drive and cuts, and then I'll finish it with me on their thoughts
Yeah.
on the games.
Well,
Sports
I mean, alright. Well, I mean, yeah, like what a game. It had everything. Start off with Pakistan batting. Babar Azam goes for golden, swinging ball early. Pakistan struggling. Archdeep Singh gets him. Rizwan struggling. Then he goes. Shan Masood comes in, anchors. Iftikhar, whatever his name is, Ahmed, plays a really good innings, starts to get going, but then he gets out for a start, and then it sort of just went. It sort of ebbed and flowed from there, the Pakistan innings. But then India's innings, like, yeah, I mean, they sort of struggled a bit early as well. Obviously, KL Rahul gets bowled by Naseem Shah for 4. Rowett gets out for 4. Suryakumar Yadav looks good, really good early. Then he gets out. Axar Patel comes in at 5, I believe. He got run out. Then Hardik Pandya, a tiny bit of an underrated innings, but went very slow for his standards. Made, 30, 40? Then Dinesh Karthik doesn't make many. And then Ashwin. I mean, let's just talk about Kohli first. What a knock. Like, returns to his, I don't know, his best, you could say. Like 82 from 53, 6 fours, 4 sixes. What a gun. But Ashwin's last ball hitting that winning runs was underrated as well. But the last over was crazy from Nawaz. Why did they bowl him?
He was the only one left, but why did they save
yeah,
him to the end?
Exactly. You should have saved somebody else. But yeah, like that over was cooked. Like I actually don't think that was a no ball, that one that was given, but yeah.
It didn't get. Was it supposed to get like reviewed? Did they check it upstairs or?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
That
that's
last
my
over
take.
was crazy though.
Yeah.
IJM.
Yeah. Ashwin's 1 run. Most important one run not out since Jack Leach in the 2019 Ashes,
Yeah.
which as an Australian fan lives front free in my head. But
Yeah.
Kohli, obviously when the chips are down, Kohli is up. I don't want to say carried, but he did. He absolutely carried India. 82 not out for someone that was out of form probably 2 months ago and seemed like he might not make another century. Where now he's in the World Cup and he's hitting them as crisp as ever. Something about Australia and Kohli. If you think back, the Adelaide's net session, which he seems to middle him there. There was a net session video that came out the other day. He was also middling him there. Something about the Australian air that must just bring Kohli into form. So, thank goodness we don't need to verse him as our and India just yet. But I tell you what, if he keeps on going the way he is, player of the tournament is definitely on the cards. But as Sportsnut touched on, leaving that last over to just force it out to Nawaz. Afridi was there, you could have saved him, even Nassim Shah, like all the other four bowlers. Like Afridi is a death bowling genius and like maestro. If you saved him and he bowled, I think we'd be sitting here saying a very different story about India falling just short. But at the end of the day, poor planning and poor execution equals a poor result. So I definitely think Pakistan will be sitting there, thinking of what could have been. But for now, they'll probably move on to their next game, which is against Zimbabwe, which, you think that they'd probably win that.
Righto. RJM, cover drives and cuts, your take on the game?
I thought, considering that, like, it's 90,000 people at the MCG, probably one of the biggest crowds ever for a cricket game. It was probably the best 2020 game of all time, hands down. I thought with the, Nawaz bowling thing, the no ball thing was controversial because the part where it came off the stumps and went for 3, I thought that was probably the turning point of the match where you started thinking, India might actually do this. Because from where it came from, 48 off 18, it was Pakistan's game to lose, not India's to win.
All right, there's cover drives and cuts. A couple of viewers have joined. Grace says, who are the two blokes on the bottom? Cover drives and cuts on the left, and the man that used to be on the podcast with a very fancy-looking logo, the Bats and Stats new podcast, only on Spotify, I'm hearing. RJM, only on Spotify.
Exclusive.
All right, what a game. Probably one of the best T20 World Cup matches you will see. That first couple of overs from India was great to watch. Obviously, Babar Azam going first ball. I reckon Pakistan did very well to get to 159 from the position they were in. And India, what a chase. The top order didn't fire. Hardik Pandya was a good innings, but obviously Virat Kohli was the star of the show. That last over, though, was absolutely crazy. 16 off it. A no-ball controversial. And then he bowls a wide on the free hit. It's still a free hit. The next ball, it bowls Virat Kohli, goes down to third man, and they run free.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, I don't know what my thoughts are on that. Dean...
Like, he's literally been bowled, and they've run free. Like, should that be legal? I love it.
I think that technically works, when you think about it, but it's also kind of, unfair, but
Pakistan would rather it not hit the stump and just go to the keeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's his fault for bowling a no bowl in the first place.
Yeah.
Should it be considered as the same as hitting a helmet is, though? Like, should it become a dead ball? As soon as it hits those stumps, should it be a dead ball, like what it is when you run, like
Maybe.
when you hit
I
the
feel
ball
like-
on the stumps?
I feel like it should be, but I reckon it's fun, like seeing that ball. Like imagine, I thought it was going for
Yeah.
4 when it came
Yeah,
off,
it's pretty funny.
entertaining.
Yeah.
But I think it should be, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 off 1, and then Nawaz, what are you doing? Says the commentator. I don't know what he was doing. He bowled
Yeah,
another
that
wide.
was.
And then 1 from
Yeah.
1, Ravi Ashwin, the hero, just chipped it over the gap. Didn't
The
smash
unsung
it.
hero.
Chipped it over the gap, and
One thing is though,
India win in the
why
classic.
wasn't the whole field up during the time when Ravi Ashwin was facing that last ball? I think everyone should have been inside
Yeah, I
the
know.
circle.
Although, does that encourage, like, if you're up, does that potentially mean that he's going to hit it straight over the top? Are they thinking, like, if it's out and he goes to smack it and mishits it slightly, can they stop it or can they catch it? Probably,
Yeah.
because if he
And
hits
then
it over
those
the
2
top,
wickets
it's at the-
also in that final over, the stumping and then the. So when they needed 16 from 6 and they got that wicket, then I was like, gee, Pakistan, they got the ascendancy
yeah,
here.
they're on.
Just quickly on the Dinesh Karthik
Yeah.
one, actually, because I actually noticed. I'm pretty sure that you're not allowed to take a stumping with your gloves in front of the line because I've seen no balls
Yeah, that was
given.
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit underrated after everything that happened.
And
Yeah,
also,
unnoticed, yeah.
a little bit before, there was a run out. Babar Azam and Muhammad Rizwan thought they didn't get it from their reaction, but it was out. I thought,
Yeah.
when I first saw it, I thought Rizwan, it was his gloves, he missed the ball. But it was deemed the
Yeah.
ball removed the stumps. But Babar Azam had a misfield, Rizwan had a misfield, they still got the wicket. But that was huge as well. So crazy, crazy game that was. India in the end winning it. What other games did we have? So today, Bangladesh and the
Bangladesh,
Netherlands. Now, Bangladesh 8 for 144. Netherlands, you think, oh, that could be a chance. They get bowled out for 135. But if you watch the game, that was a crazy last innings because they were pretty much gone. They sort of made it close toward the end there, but not enough
Yeah.
to win it. But
Yeah, not
I'm
much
here.
to say.
I'm hearing from our producer that we've got a second segment tonight. It's in 60 seconds. We're going to take it one at a time. Who wins the World Cup from here and why? I'm hearing that Sportsnut goes first.
No.
Are
I'm
you
going-
ready?
No.
Away you go.
Alright. What are we even doing? I didn't even hear.
Who wins the World Cup and why?
Alright, I'm going.
And we'll restart. We'll restart. We need the clip. All right, we might get it out as a clip. Here we go. Who wins the World Cup and why? Sportsnut, away you go.
Who wins the World Cup and why? I'm gonna have to say Bangladesh. Big Shakib Al Hasan leads them to victory, and yeah, I just think they'll win because Nazmul Hussein's Shanto will make 150 every game, and Shakib will take 5.
So Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Who are they going to meet in the final?
They'll be meeting Ireland.
All right. Controversial. I won't say he's wrong because, it's not over. IJM Sports.
Well, India, I reckon. They'll meet Australia in the final and beat us by 1 run, I reckon. Virat
Oh,
Kohli.
God.
Virat Kohli is back in his prime. He's back in form, and if a Dinesh Karthik or a Rohit Sharma also fire, they can beat any team, I reckon. And looking at their group and who they need to beat, like they've got the Netherlands, they've got I think Bangladesh, like they can easily beat them and they should win their group. So then all they need to do is just beat other teams in the finals.
True.
And then we'll see them at the MCG.
All right. IJM Sports. There you go. You say beating Bangladesh, but Sportsnuts tipped them to win the World Cup, so might be a tough
Just
game, that
saying.
one.
If Bangladesh win, I'll eat my hat. Like,
No, in all seriousness, I think.
Do you want to do a proper one,
Bangladesh will be-
Sportsnut? Do you want redemption, or you sticking with
Yeah, I'll do a
Bangladesh?
proper one after VKNs.
After
And
VKNs.
you,
VKNs?
and you.
Take it away, VKNs. Who wins the World Cup and why?
I think South Africa will get up because they just have such a good fast
Don't
bowling
mind that.
unit. What?
Don't mind that.
Yeah, South Africa, they have a really good fast bowling unit. You know, they have like aggressive batsmen. Rousseau's in great form. De Kock's
Yes.
class. You got like even David Miller, who's been in great form for this whole year, pretty much. Yeah,
So
I think
Africa.
I think they'll end up meeting India in the final. But anyway, yeah.
Right, there you go. I'm going then, Sportsnut.
Right, Sportsnut. I mean, Cam, who do you think will win the World Cup and why?
Biased completely. We're going Australia to get it done against England. Maybe it's not biased because they won last year's World Cup, but considering they lost to New Zealand in the first game, it's looking less likely. But hey, they might not even get through the group stage. We're hoping they do. I think England, they're great. I reckon they should make the final. India, they're going to be a threat, and I don't mind that VKN's cricket. South Africa, I like it. But for me, hopefully the Aussies get it done. I reckon India, yeah, they'll be... So India and South Africa, they'll be making it through to the group stage, but it will be the Aussies and the English to make it through to the final, and the Aussies are going to get it done at the MCG. That's my prediction. That's what I hope will happen, but who knows? As final one, Sportsnut, away you go.
Yeah, right. So, proper. I reckon Bangladesh win. Just because, in all seriousness, I think Shakib, Shanto, Taskin and stuff are good enough bowlers.
Alright, are we going to do a proper one?
No, it is. But I also
You're going
reckon,
Bangladesh?
But yes, but I also reckon that they'll be beating India. India, world class. I think that'll be really good.
No,
do you want to put a forfeit down for that one, Sportsnut?
No, yeah, right.
Yep.
Last chance. Alright, Bangladesh. Alright, there you go, people. I'm not going to say he's wrong because they haven't lost it yet, have they? Cover Drives and Cuts has got to go, so it's just the three of us to end out this podcast. So IJM, he is going for
India.
I thought you were going for Australia. Did you go for India?
Oh yeah. I reckon India will win. I'm going for Australia. Or actually the Netherlands. In two groups, so I'm going for Australia in our group and Netherlands in the other group.
Alright, Sportsnut, who are you going for?
Australia in our group and Bangladesh in the other group.
And I am going for the Aussies to win it, and that's who I'm supporting. That is it for episode 24 of the podcast. Pretty successful. Had the big two special guests in. We're here with a free at the moment, though. This is the original free. Has it been a while? I don't know. Since last time we've been together. I think it has, because I think the last time you were here, you were replacing Sportsnut because he was unavailable.
Yeah.
Or I was doing the quiz on grand final week.
Well, the time before that, then we'll say. But yeah, I forgot about the grand final quiz. That wasn't too long ago. That was before we knew the Cats were going to win the grand final. Yeah. But that'll be it for episode 24. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you to VKN's Cricket and IJM Sports. Remember the Bats and Stats podcast exclusive to Spotify.
Brycey
Is that right?
Yep. Go and give it a listen. You'll have to go via my channel. That's the only thing.
Oh my god!
And after that, it's called IJM Sports, his channel, and the Bats and Stats podcast on Spotify. Once you do that, if you haven't already, even if you have, watch that final over of India-Pakistan again. Because it's bloody brilliant. That'll be it from us. Good night.